I'm Harrison Kelly with BYU-Idaho Radio, and I'm in the office with Lori Barber, the president of College of Eastern Idaho. They just opened their new Future Tech building on campus. Lori, thanks for letting me visit with you.
Thank you so much for driving down. It is a pleasure to have you in my office. We always love having people on campus, showing them around. Thank you so much for coming last Thursday. It was quite an event. We were very excited about the event. We are maybe even more excited. I don't know if more excited, but we are so excited to welcome students into that building today. So today is our first day of fall term.
Really?
Yeah, it is. And so I was over there in Future Tech earlier and seeing students in those classrooms and using the collaborative spaces. And it's just what we had always hoped and imagined. And to see it actually go from a design on paper to students in that building, learning, using the shared spaces, it's pretty incredible.
It is really incredible because the last building you opened was across, kitty corner to that building, and that was what, 2017?
2007.
Or that was 2007.
The last building. No, we did that building opened in 2007. But here's what you might have heard. So in 2017, you probably know, and your listeners probably know, that we became a community college.
Right.
And our last new building had been 2007. And in 2007, we had about 900 students. In 2017, we had about 1,000 students. We just ended FY 26 with just a hair shy of 5,000 students. And so in that, since 2017, we've grown from 2007 to 2017, we grew by a few hundred students. From 2017 to 2026, we grew by almost 4,000 on the same size campus. So you can imagine how excited we are to open this new facility, not only to be able to have room to expand and grow, but also to be able to welcome our students to such a beautiful facility.
Right. It also alleviates the number of students in one classroom as well.
Correct. Yes.
Nice
all of those
redistribution.
Things. Exactly.
What do you think is the reason for that growth?
It is such a good question. So I think it's a little bit of everything. So I think that the community college came into being at the right time. In 2017, we needed a supermajority vote to turn Eastern Idaho Technical College, or ITech, as most people around here knew that school. We needed a supermajority vote to turn the technical college into a community college. And there were some people who thought, maybe that's not going to pass the first time we do it. But it did. And I think it passed with an overwhelming majority. And I think the people of this region knew it was time for a community college to be in this region. And so I think that we became a community college, the right place at the right time. But I will also tell you, I think a big part of that growth is we are offering the right programs here. We are going to business and industry. We're asking them what they need. Who are the employees that they need? What kind of training do they want those employees to have? In some instances, we're inviting industry partners to the table when we're designing curriculum. So we have a lot of career technical education programs. That's our cybersecurity, diesel, welding, nursing, surge tech. I mean, there are more in there that I'm forgetting that are also CTE programs. And twice a year, we ask business and industry to sit on a technical advisory committee. And so twice a year, they come to us and we sit down in the evening and we say, what's working well with our students? What could be improved? And then we adjust curriculum accordingly. So I think the fact that we were at the right place at the right time when we became a community college. And then I think also the fact that we are offering the right programs as well for business and industry partners in this region.
And one of those big industry partners in this region is the INL.
It is.
I know that John Wagner, the director of the INL, was at the groundbreaking. One of the things he said was he saw opportunity here. What do you think he meant by that?
Yeah. I think he, again, sees that CEI is willing to listen when the lab says, here's what we need, and then build programs around what that need is. I think that he also Something that we've done at CEI that has been so incredible is rethink how education is delivered. Rethink how we don't have to do education the way it's always been done for the last 100 years. That is the beauty of getting to build a brand new college. And so many people describe CEI as intentional, as innovative, as again, being willing to listen. And so I think that Director Wagner and other partners as well, Dan Thurman, who is the CEO of Frontier Credit Union, who was a naming partner on the building, I think he also sees that we're doing it differently. We're thinking about how to educate differently. How can we get a student here? How can we enroll them, get them through their program in the least amount of time as possible, with the most knowledge possible, with the least amount of cost? So I think when people come on this campus, they realize they're doing something different here. And I don't know if that's exactly what Director Wagner meant, but I would suspect that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a good opportunity for students, especially coming up in this new age. Education seems like it's changing all around.
Right.
And, old education models of big lecture halls and
right.
less hands-on kind of materials is kind of going away in some areas around the country. What do you see this new building offering students that's different than what had been here before?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So I will give you an example. So CEI has an engineering transfer degree, and it is the only one of its kind in the state right now. And engineering will be taught in that building. And so I don't want to get too technical and too in the weeds
right.
with credits and all of this, but it's important to understand that in all associate degrees that are going to transfer at a community college, you are required to take 36 credits of general education. I'm a huge fan of general education. However, in high credit majors like engineering, when those students come to us, if they have to take all 36 credits of their general education here at the community for an associate's degree, it doesn't leave enough room in that degree to be able to take all the math they need, all of the pre-engineering, all of the beginning physics. So when they transfer to a university, they are a true junior. Because if they have to fill a lot of those credits with those general education courses, then when they transfer, they're looking sometimes at 3 more years or sometimes longer. And so the State Board of Education said in certain circumstances, you can redesign a transfer degree. And so we went to the State Board of Education with this engineering degree. They approved it. And now we feel like that is very innovative. So students who come here and want to go into engineering, then when they transfer on to university, they are true juniors. So that is just one example. I think also, we're offering a mechatronics degree that we know is that a lot of those employees, Micron is begging for mechatronics graduates. Now, Micron is in Boise, and I realize that, but that's also offering the cutting edge degrees that are high value and that are in high demand. CEI. In 2025, the Carnegie Foundation, the Carnegie Institute, Carnegie Foundation, they do a lot of rankings across colleges and universities across the nation. And they added a new category called access and opportunity. And CEI was the only institution in Idaho to receive the highest ranking, which was high access, high opportunity. And what that means is that any student who comes to us, no matter where they're at in their educational journey, if they're struggling with math, if they're perhaps struggling with the English language, we say that's okay. We're gonna help connect you to your goal, and we're going to connect you to that goal in as quickly as we can, and get you either transferred or into the workforce as quickly as we can. We were the only institution to receive that highest honor from the Carnegie Foundation.
Wow. And just as a community college here in Idaho Falls, that's a big deal.
Huge.
That's a big deal.
Huge. Yeah. And they were ranking colleges and universities. And, I'm probably going to get this number wrong, but I think there were only just around 450 institutions across the nation. And you think about all of the colleges and universities across this country. There were about 450, not exactly 450, give or take a few, that received that designation, and CEI was one of them.
So there's a lot of eyes are on this school right now.
There are.
And I'm sure it helps having the laboratory out in the desert just a few miles away. But I understand you guys added 2 4-year degrees here.
We did.
Where do you see CEI going in the next 5 years?
Yeah. Very good question. So I see us staying, because I've had the question, are you trying to become a university? And the answer is no. We love our community college space. We believe in the people who work here, believe in the mission of the community college. Now, it is unusual in the state of Idaho, but it is not unusual across the nation for community colleges to offer those applied baccalaureate degrees. And so we saw a need for 2, and one is in digital forensics analytics, which is a cybersecurity degree. Your listeners probably know that. I always feel like I need to explain that.
No, it's good. It's good to clarify that too, because not everybody knows that.
Right. And then operations management, which is just what it says. So we saw the need in this area for those 2 bachelor's degrees. And if we see the need for maybe one more bachelor's degree, we might think about adding a 3rd one, but the answer is we are not trying to become a university. I see CEI continuing to do what we do very, very good, what we're getting even better at, which is staying at the cutting edge of education, being innovative, responding to business and industry when they ask us for a training or for a degree, and just continuing to move in that space of thinking, how can we do education differently? That's what I see CEI being really good at and being known for, is for our innovative approach to education. I will also say I think that CEI will become known for, and we're already moving into this space as well, doing a lot of nuclear training. We know that there's so much excitement around nuclear right now, nuclear energy. And you heard the governor and the senator, one of them said it's a resurgence, one of them said it's a renaissance. I will not take a position on that. I said that at the ribbon cutting as well. But there's certainly new energy surrounding nuclear, and a lot of that is happening right here in Idaho Falls through Idaho National Lab, and then all of the businesses and industries that are coming here to capitalize on what's going on here. So I see CEI as being known for being, I've been saying, the center of the nuclear training universe. So I see that, but I also see us as being very, very innovative, but not so much moving into a university space, staying in the lane that we do really well.
Yeah, focusing on the present, the here, the now.
That is correct.
What's working right now for the school, and that makes a lot of sense. I know your speech at the groundbreaking was, the underlying theme was what if? Mm-hmm. And I know that the lieutenant governor also followed that same sort of theme. What do you mean by what if for the college?
Yeah. So what I was referencing is that, 5 to 6 years ago, a group of people got in a room and said, what if we were to create a building, a new space where we could really do high-tech training, and what if we could really bring this to fruition? And what I really meant was, and then what I actually said too is that we are now standing inside the physical manifestation of what if. And so anything that's ever been developed, anywhere started as what if. What if we did this? So I am a definite believer in possibilities and that anything is possible. And so the what if is what if and anything is possible. But you have to ask that question, what if, and then you have to get people to join you along the way.
Exactly. And that's, like you said, I like that you say it's a physical testament of that question asked, because it's literally the idea is here now.
That's right.
And I want to talk a little bit, just real quick, briefly, about the possibilities within that space, because there's a lot of cutting edge technology in that building with mechanical engineering, with some like cybersecurity and all that. All those different mechatronics, all that. What groundbreaking technology is offered in that building? What is the class? What what technology is offered in those classrooms?
Yeah. So I wish I had some of my faculty here so they could they could explain it to you in depth. But just some of the equipment that we have in mechatronics, it is the state of the art. Like we have all new equipment. We received grants and some of our donations, some of our donors. So, for teaching mechatronics, we're teaching on the most cutting edge technology available. For engineering, the 3D printers, I should know some of the other equipment. That's a hard question.
There's robotics.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Stuff.
All of those things. So, but what I want to say too is that building is also built to be able to pivot and to evolve as industry evolves. So, as industry evolves, not involves, as industry evolves, we will be able to evolve as well. And again, stay on that cutting edge. And we have partners and businesses who believe in us and know that we're really good at that they will help us make sure that we stay on that cutting edge. So what I would say to your listeners, if they want to see what some of those cutting edge teaching tools are, come by. We'll give you a tour. We would love for you to see it yourself.
A lot of new opportunities here in Eastern Idaho with the College of Eastern Idaho.
Yes.
This new future tech building.
Yes.
And thanks for meeting with me, talking about that. A lot of exciting things happening here. That was an interview with Lori Barber, the president of the College of Eastern Idaho. They just opened their new future tech building. The school expands programs and now has 2 4-year degrees. For more information about programs offered, go to cei.edu.